the key. Oh, hold on.
Lord,
The key. How long y'all been in here?
This is where you get your bugs from the grocery store. Anybody need some worms, bugs? There it is. Look, him.
Oh yeah. You trying to
Him right there. That's who came. That's who flew out. Right. That's the mom.
What are you eating?
Extremely light, as you can see, have not been opened. Just did a pickup from Jersey Mike's, but it feels a little light, so we're gonna open these on camera. No AI. See what we got. Let's check the portion. Wait, I'm not touching them. They're not mine. That's your portion. Wait, can we put like a quarter in there for scale? There's a pen. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chips. What's going on here?
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before we get started, we're going to give all glory and honor to
Yahweh,
Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders like Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect out there feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai. I'm the brother Barak, and I'm here with brother Yahusab.
Shalom.
And this lesson is going to be about these basically bread defiled among the Gentiles, right? So this is the book of Ezekiel 4 and 13. It says, "And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them." Right? You see these fucking foods, man. The food's got rats in it, right? The Quaker oats got, that's not even like oatmeal anymore. It's just maggots. Right? Got whole ass maggot colony.
You got 3D printed meat.
You got 3D printed meat. You got pizza made out of bugs. And this fucking devil Esau, man. Now, you know, but back in the day, you could get like a bag of chips, right? And they would actually fill that shit up. Now this motherfucker he's giving out a bag of chips with 2 chips in it. You know, 2 to 5 chips, man. Like this guy got fucking 6 potato chips in his fucking food, man. Like what the fuck, man?
This guy's eating the best steaks, all these expensive $5,000, $15,000 dinners.
Oh yeah, you got these Edomites. They be taking their girlfriend to Salt Bay. You know, they're getting that like the bill is like $1,000, right? Bring
It's the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted; it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." So this place is, defiled and polluted. In every, facet and way possible, man. Babylon has perverted itself, not only in America, but in the rest of this world, man. You got, people are suffering and struggling, man. You can't even go and like pick fruit off of a tree. I'll give you an example real quick. I found a tree full of fruit, and I went to go pick it, and it was in a community, and they, made the landscapers take all the fruit down and knock it all to the floor the very next day. So we can't even pick fruit off of a public tree in this stupid fucking place, man.
Yeah.
And this goes into the book of Job 9 and 24. "The earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" So that's talking about Esau Edom. Esau Edom, he just tries to make everything shit. And back then, it wasn't as shit as it was, now. At least you could be fun, you could go out, you could, be entertained.
The
Your money went a long way.
The prices of food were cheap. Now, man, you get a bag of chips, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, you literally got a fucking, it's gone. You go to, you got some stores, man, like, selling you a sandwich, man, $11 man. $14 for a sandwich.
I have
It's just and what is it? Can you bring out the price of wheat? The price of wheat for a penny?
This is the book of Revelation 6 and 6. "And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
Yep.
And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine."
And if you go into that word penny, right, I believe it means the word denario, right, which goes into a day's wages, right? And so now what's gonna happen is prices of shit is gonna get so bad, right, You know, it's gonna be equivalent of what you have to do in basically a day's worth of work just to get, you know, a loaf of bread.
And I have this precept in the book of Luke, chapter 21 and 11, and these are the words in the red letter. And great earthquake shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. So, you know, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, and there's going to be famines and starvation, and you're going to see people start to kill each other for, you know, really small amounts of food that wouldn't be, you know, deemed much, you know, now, and even, you know, back then, you know, you got a can of beans or something, you know, as small as like some condiments. You know, you're going to have people actually fight and kill each other over these items to the point where they might even eat each other. These are the times we're coming into.
The Lord is no stranger to allowing these famines to happen, you know, because like, you know, like in the book of Jeremiah, right? I mean, all throughout, you know, timeline of Israel, right? You know, I just use Jeremiah as an example, right? You know, Jake was basically going off, and then as a result, the Lord would you know, strike, you know, the land with a famine, right? So, you know, the Lord can just snap his finger, right? And all of a sudden, you know, there's no more food left.
And people don't understand that, you know, the Lord, he creates and he destroys. You know, he decides everything. You know, Salaki for the background noise. We got these fucking idiots in front of us in the parking lot.
Keep going on.
But, you know, this, what was I saying?
Yeah, you know, Esau, man, he's basically, you know, he's basically cranking up those food prices, right? You know, he's making, and on top of that, he's slowly, what is it? He's slowly altering the food to where, like, you know, now you'll look on the back of a thing, right? You know, like, for example, you know, like stores like Aldi's, they'll have like meat, right? And all of a sudden, the meat will just like vanish. I was at Aldi's, right? And I remember, you know, the meat was just out of stock. It kept going out of stock. And then later, you know, you see that this meat has like all these fucking different chemicals on the back of it now. It's not just meat.
I have, you know, these two precepts, and I also want to go into, you know, why the devil is doing this, why he's going forth with these particular things, because this devil wants to usher in the MOTB, which is going to be the RFID microchip, okay, which is coming very soon. We're in these times, so he's ultimately trying to starve these people out and appear like he's, you know, some helpful friend. This is Ecclesiasticus 12 and 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, that he shall undermine thee. So he's going to start offering, you know, certain stipends and certain plans, like, you know, benefits. But you have to, you know, take this chip, or you have to sign up for this, you know, RFID microchip. And that's what he's going to do. And this is a precept in 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we see that everything that he's doing is, you know, ultimately to usher out the New World Order and the mark of the beast. That, you know, this is prophecy. This has to come to pass before the Lord comes back with ICBM nuclear missiles, and we get delivered in these chariots, man, Lord willing.
Yeah,
because this was gonna happen.
Why the fuck would you want to even stay in this place? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they get like their woman, they get like a good like paying job, and then they just all of a sudden you're like, you know what, this place don't sound bad after all, right? You know, that's why Elder Apostle Tahar, he said, what, you know, it doesn't seem like hell when you I'm paraphrasing what he said, but it doesn't seem like hell when you got a, you know, a woman, basically, right?
It's not that bad when, you know, you're comfortable, when you got it made. You know, when you get yourself a wife and she's feeding you every day and you know, rubbing your back and making you feel all good. We're at war right now, man. You know, this is not our rest. You know, this is polluted. And listen, there's nothing wrong with having a wife if she's sincere and she's, you know, taking care of you. We're not telling you to, you know, get rid of her. But the point is that the priority isn't to go find a wife and raise this family and get a 401k and a retirement, man. We're in the end times right now.
Because the thing is, these people, they trade the truth for their wife. You know what I'm saying? They trade this ministry, you know, Yahweh Shem Shai's ministry.
Yeah. And
then they get a wife, and then they put the plow down, and then forget about this work.
Scriptures say, he that, you know, dropped the plow is not fit for the kingdom.
Yeah.
So you can't look back, man, and you know, things are only going to get worse. That's why you have to trust in Yahweh by Shemel Shai for deliverance, man, and have faith through these times that are going to come, because it's going to get even worse and worse. So you have to stay prepared.
We're still technically in the green tree, right? So you imagine you're seeing people barely getting any. You already seen the food getting contaminated with, right? Just imagine when there's the imports stop, right? Because first you got the imports to stop, right? Then you got what? You got the supply chain gets affected by the power grid being off, right? Certain freezers
going on.
When you shut the electric off, the freezer shut off. When you can't store frozen goods, and you can't cook certain foods.
And that's the spirit, because we're outside in a parking lot doing this lesson, and a majority, I want to say about 70% of the store needs to be refrigerated, other than the canned goods and the few dry snacks that they have. But
those things, those canned goods, they're the first to actually when usually people start shit goes down, like people are usually the first to get those canned goods,
to get that, and then everything else is going to spoil. So the times we're coming into, man, is going to be like never before, and you have to stay prepared for the outcomes that are to come, and you got to ultimately rely on the Lord Yahweh by Shemel Shai in these times where everyone's suffering. They're opening up that last pack of potato chips, and then they come to find out there's 4 chips, and they got to split it amongst 6 people, and then they start looking at each other. Who are we going to kill first? Who are we going to eat first? And that's going to happen. That is going to happen, whether you like to think that or not. So we're not coming here to tell you sweet things and whisper nice and happy melodies in your ears, man. We're here to tell you doom, because that's what's to come, man.
Yeah, they're not gonna. And people think because you got a lot of these prepping channels, think you're gonna be able to trade during those times, like gold and silver. What does the scriptures talk about? Like they shall cast their gold and silver in the street. Can you bring that out? Because it's gonna be useless, right? And I believe. I don't know the full economics of it, but basically like the they don't actually have like the amount of silver they say they have, and in gold they have it in like what is it, like a paper form or whatever you call it, like I'm not sure exactly how that works, like futures it's called, right? But even that man, their gold is basically useless, right?
It's the book of Ezekiel 7:19.
Yeah.
They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity. So these devils, man, they could have a whole vault full of gold and silver. That's not going to save them when the Lord comes back to turn them into missile food.
There ain't going to be like no trading when shit hits the fan. Motherfuckers are going to shoot you, man. They're going to kill you. It's not gonna be no fucking trading. There's not gonna be no standard currency, whatever the fuck you call it, man.
Because listen, we've seen it before, like certain instances where, there's police in the streets, there's SWAT in the streets, and people are still running through, wreaking havoc in stores. Imagine when there's no police, when there's no fire department, when there's no ambulance, when the hospitals are closed down. Okay, imagine then what's really gonna happen. When those 2/3 spirits run rampant, man, and their spirits hop on them to just start, creating destruction. That's why you're going to have to be wise and vigilant during these times, man. You got to be really, on point with the Lord, because if not, you're going to get caught up in some nonsense, and you don't want that for yourself. This is a time where you got to rely on the Lord. That's it.
Yeah. All right, I just paused the video, right? I looked this up. It basically says the government, they have more paper gold futures, right? And more paper gold, paper silver, right? Meaning on paper they sit, basically they have more than what they actually have, right? And that's what you call a false balance, right? So even during these times, man, people think they're gonna be investing their money in something a fucking gold, silver, houses, land, right? Whatever the case might be, man, all that shit's going out the window, man.
Yeah, con.
It's all basically, this whole world, right, is going to shit. But when the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, he returns, man, he's gonna set up a righteous rulership, right? Because you know what, when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, right, the people mourn, right? So, you know, until then, man, you know, you just gotta endure until the end. You know, you gotta endure this fucking shitty ass society,
Shitty life.
this shitty ass, you know. There's no amount of fucking, you know, what is it called? The reparations this devil Esau can give us, that you know, that can make up for what he did. You know, we want to get the fuck out of here. That's what we want.
The only thing that is going to give us life is having faith through Yahweh Shai, you know, which is our salvation. Once we get to the kingdom, Lord willing, that's when we're going to have life. That's when we're going to really be able to truly live it and rest in peace. You know, be in tranquility and not have to go through the suffering anymore. Until then, you know, we're going to have to go through this, man, and continue to endure, Akim.
Yeah, that's why, what is Solomon, he said, can you bring this out, death is better than life, right? Because, you know, because it's, you know, death is better than living in this shitty ass fucking society, man. You know, so you got the food tampered with, the money tampered with. Everything's
tampered with. This is the book of, want to bring this out right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus 30 and 17. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness.
And that's what it is, bitter life, man. You got motherfuckers on got put on what do you call it, dialysis treatment, right? They put you on chemotherapy, right? Instead of giving you those you know, bitter herbs which are for the healing, right? They fucking, you know, motherfuckers got like Alzheimer's and dementia. They got like those what's it, varicose veins on their legs, those big legs where you can't even walk. Man, it's bitter for these people. You know, for our people, man. You know, it's bitter, man.
I have this precept in the book of James 4 and 14. Whereas ye not know what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. So, you know, your life here, man, this carnal, you know, way of living, this flesh, this temporary life, it's only for a small moment in the grand scheme of things. Although in our mind, it feels like a long time, you know. It's really short in the eyes of the Lord. And that's why we got to do whatever we can, you know, to just be there for Yahweh Shema Shai until the end, because there's nothing better than serving the Lord, a life that's filled with, you know, doing the will of the Lord. You know, this is what our purpose is here, you know, so that we can get out of this place. This is our test. You know, so that's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's all I got. With that being said, we're going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who teach and real well. And peace and salutations to the elect out there feeding the sheep of Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.
For
Hey, call out Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai.
Shalom.
Shalom.